Skeptics Review, the Bible, by John Smith. Exodus, chapter 13. God told Moses that all of the firstborn must be consecrated, sanctified, and dedicated to him. All of your firstborn males and male animals belong to me, Lord Yahweh. Moses, who must have lost his phobia about being a bad speaker at this point, tells the Israelites, "You need to remember the day Lord Yahweh killed a bunch of Egyptian kids and cattle and caused all sorts of plagues and destruction for his own PR. And don't eat any bread with leaven in it. For 7 days you have to eat this crappy unleavened bread. No bread with yeast. Lord Yahweh hates the yeast that he created. Explain to your children why you are doing this. Because Lord Yahweh killed a bunch of Egyptian kids for you so you get to get out of the country and worship him. This festival will be a reminder, like a string on your finger or a sticky note on your forehead. You need to continue to study and recite Lord Yahweh's laws every year from now on. Lord Yahweh is bringing us to the land he promised us where the Canaanites are already living. So you must offer him your firstborn sons and animals because they belong to Lord Yahweh. You can buy back baby donkeys with cute little lambs though. But if you don't have a cute little baby lamb to sacrifice to Lord Yahweh, you need to break the donkey's neck. When your sons ask, why are we doing this? Why are you traumatizing us for life? You answer that Lord Yahweh brought us out of Egypt for his own PR and made Pharaoh stubborn for his own PR, and that's why we sacrifice all our animals except donkeys, which you buy back with lambs, and our firstborn sons, which we can buy back too unless we don't have baby lambs. And if we don't have baby lambs to replace for you, we have to break your scrawny little neck, kid. Okay, admittedly, I added that last part. So omnipotent, omnipresent, omnibenevolent God decided not to take his chosen people the shortest route to Canaan, but a roundabout route instead, just in case his people changed their minds or something. Couldn't he just change their minds back the way he wanted, kind of like he did with Pharaoh all those times? I digress. Moses took Joseph's body with him out of Egypt, like I stated in my Genesis series. Yay, Joseph! God went in front of the people as a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night, which I guess gets people out of that if you see God, you die rule. Maybe. I don't know. Exodus, chapter 14. Then God said to Moses to camp near some unpronounceable place, so that Pharaoh would think they're just wandering around aimlessly in the desert. But instead is all a part of Lord Yahweh's super secret master plan in which he's going to harden Pharaoh's heart one final time so that God's PR campaign will be complete and all will know that he is the Lord. So Pharaoh gets all of his chariots together, including the 600 of his finest chariots, which for some reason is inexplicably not a part of that whole all his chariots description. Pharaoh pursues the Israelites to that unpronounceable place that I will likely not say right, but here goes. Pi Hariath and Baal Zephon. The Israelites see Pharaoh and all his chariots and his 600 finest chariots counted separately and say to Moses, "Weren't there any graves in Egypt? You brought us out in the desert to die. We should have stayed slaves." Moses answered, "Lord Yahweh will save you, you bunch of sniveling cowards." Next, man-angel, smoke, or burning bush column god, whichever, told Moses to lift your walking stick in the air, and the waters will divide, for the people to walk on solid, dry ground. God's repetitious pontification continues. "I will make the Egyptians stubborn and follow you, and by killing all of them, the Egyptians will know that I am the Lord, and my PR campaign will be complete." So Moses held out his staff, and the wind blew all night and turned the sea into dry land. So forget what you see on all of those made-for-TV and movie adaptations where Moses raises his arms and the sea immediately parts. The Good News Bible says it took all night. I guess Pharaoh and his troops were really far away or something, or those horse-drawn chariots were really slow. The Israelites saw them, so Pharaoh couldn't have been that far away. So it must have been near dawn, because man-angel God was a pillar of cloud and a pillar of fire at the same time, I guess. God threw the Egyptians into a panic and made their wheels get stuck. I guess the dry ground wasn't so dry after all. God told Moses to hold his hands over the sea, and the waters would come back to drown the Egyptians and all their chariots, and the 600 chariots not counted in the all category. So the water returned and drowned all those mean old Egyptians who had no free will of their own, whose hearts God had hardened for his own PR purposes. That'll teach 'em. When the Israelites saw the power of Lord Yahweh and Moses, they stood in awe and had faith.